Sunset Rewind FanZone, Episode 7. Ramones, Coach.
Yeah, let's go.
Woo! So, what do we got for comments this week?
Let's get right into it. From Ben Alcazar. Fountain Valley is ranked 26 and Huntington Beach 27. The league was that close to having every team in the top 25. Actually, now Bano's poll at the end of the preseason, he had Fountain Valley at 25, and I think Huntington Beach is high as 26, maybe 7. But
yeah, they're right there.
We're splitting hairs. The bottom line is, when you've got 6 teams in your league, all within the top 27, that just shows you the depth of the league, and it's as simple as that. So shout out to those teams.
It's impressive.
Yep.
It's impressive.
No doubt.
Hey, Boltsy sent us a note. He said, do you think anyone has a shot against Los Al? I've seen Edison play several times. What I saw on Friday night, what they did against Huntington Beach, Edison's impressive.
They all do. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
If you just think you can show up and win a ball game, especially in this league, you're only fooling yourself.
That's right.
I mean, Los Al, and we said at the start of the year, their biggest challenge is themselves, making sure they're focused.
Right.
When they are, that's a darn good football team.
Right.
But no, I think all the teams have the skill set and the players to score an upset. Of course, Los Al will be favored going into every game, I would think. But yeah, you never know. Anything's possible.
Taryn, what do you think? Anybody got a chance against Los Al in league?
Perhaps. It's any given week.
All right.
I think Edison definitely has a shot.
All right, yeah, I agree. It's always good to have a perspective of others involved. Thanks, Taryn.
All right, from, let's see, the next one. Thanks for having, Boltsy again. Thanks for having those guys in. They all seem like good kids. I'm assuming he's talking about last week's interview with Edison.
Great kids.
100%. That was a really fun time with them. And then Charger, one team came in. We'll talk about that in a second. And just
Hurley,
a great experience.
Lopez, Hogue, all those all fine young men, great kids,
Yep.
good football players.
Yep.
Michelle Gerard, hearing from her again. Oh, thank you so very much, guys. Aren't my grandchildren the best? And all the Chargers players, fans, and family, go Chargers. Absolutely. Her grandchildren are the Hogue kids, Riley and Carter. So, yeah, wonderful kids. You should be very proud of them. And, yes, gosh, Edison games, those people are so awesome. The fans there and the parents and just you really feel like, we talked about it earlier, it's like the electricity, no pun intended, they're the Chargers, but like the whole atmosphere is electric, and and the people are so nice. And if you've never been to an Edison football game, go to one. They're an event.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Let's see. Bryce T. Sawyer. Sunset League has the best uniforms in California. Completely agree with that. And
yeah.
Edison might be my favorite. And this is coming from an old sailor.
Oh, Bryce, yeah.
Yeah, that green, the yellow, the lightning bolt. I like the Los Al color scheme. I love CDM, the blue.
The oil, Huntington Beach is awesome.
They really do. Every team's got a good color scheme.
The Oiler Derek on there, like, the old Houston Oiler thing. And then, we have a Tony Gonzalez helmet in here from Huntington Beach. Yeah, all the uniforms are awesome. Yeah, you're definitely right about that.
And actually,
Bryce.
I'd like to make a request to the coaches. So every year, if people don't know this, the helmets by law, I guess, have to get reconditioned.
Yes.
You can only have them for so long before you have to turn them in. They check them out, and then they either send them back to you or they're considered.
I believe
no good.
after 10 years, they have to be taken out of circulation.
If we could get a helmet from each team, we'll feature that helmet every time we're covering your team in the games. And just give us one that's beat up that you can't use anymore, and we'll keep them in the studio. And every time we do a game, regardless of the team, we'll put your helmet on the desk, and we'll even give it back to you at the end of the season. But the helmets are cool. I'd actually like to keep them personally, but no, we'll use them on the show as a prop.
Absolutely.
Another one from Jen Sai. What does the winning team get for the Cup Challenge, and who won it? Okay, so it's a surprise. We're going to present it to the players, but it's pretty cool. It's something I would want. And we still have one more team to go. Harbor's the only team, that hasn't come in. So once they come in, it will be officially finished, and then we will present that. We'll actually go to the school and present it, and we'll video it.
The official times of each team competing in the Cup Challenge is locked in a secret vault.
And you don't get to find out till the end.
It's like the Academy Awards.
That's right. It's a big deal.
Top secret information. So Benjamin Alcazar asks, what do you think, or do you think Edison will beat Los Al?
Well, that's next week. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. Still a lot of other good football games to be played, and
we'll get to
see how it all plays out. But good question, Benjamin.
Tommy Tarr. Tars of old are sailing in for the Los Al game. Tars in their navy blues and battleship gray uniforms. Probably should have brought a couple more battleships to the game, but I thought Newport Harbor played really well. I thought they represented their schools and themselves quite nicely. It's just Los Al's at a different place right now. But certainly they've closed the gap, and it was a good game. It was contested to the end. I felt like LaSalle was in control the whole night, but they couldn't quite pull away. So, again, Newport's doing some good things, and they're closing in.
Anna Aguilar said, very impressed, talking in reference to the Charger One interview. Most freshmen have no idea what they want to do in life, let alone have that kind of composure. Thanks for going outside the box a little bit. I really enjoyed watching this. Obviously, she's making reference to the Charger One broadcast and Riley Hogue. Yeah, you should see her at the game. She's hustling on the sideline. She's interviewing Jeff Grady, the head coach, before the game. She interviewed us before the game, and her and Papa Al, they are working, and they do a great job. And, yeah, she's got a bright future ahead of her.
You know, I go back to when I was a freshman in high school, and I remember the football players to me seemed like men.
Yeah.
And the girls seemed like women. And to have that kind of composure as a freshman to do those things, I mean, and to get all those hours logged in, that's really going to help out, her career going forward. And
she's got command, too.
So, I agree with that comment. She did a great job, and it was fun having both of them in here. Bryce T. Sawyer, I watched a few Charger games thanks to those guys. So, he's, again, talking about Charger One. I wish Tar TV should stream games. Sad. I think that's the future, to be quite honest. It's not as hard as you think. If you have the equipment, basically all you need is a camera and a computer, essentially, and a couple other minor things. But there's definitely a hunger for high school football.
Yeah.
In fact, when we were at the Edison game, we were talking UCLA. My school was on that night. I was more excited to go to the Edison Huntington game than watching the UCLA game.
And Papa Al kind of walked us through the process last week, what he does. So, I mean, there's some work to be done, but it's not as difficult as you think it is. So as far as getting something going for Tar TV, I think that would be very easy, and that's I see that happening in the near future.
But all the schools, I would make a plea to the administration. You've got budgets for this stuff. This is a vocational class. I mean, you can have the kids in there. You can have an editing team, a filming team, somebody that writes up the story. You bring a crew to the game. I mean, you can make this a class, get credit. And this is all stuff this is the future.
Broadcast journalism.
Everybody bought podcasts now. Everybody's got a cell phone. I mean, we're all our own directors.
Everybody's got a cell phone. Everybody's got a computer. I mean, you're carrying around a computer with you wherever you go.
Yeah, so tie that into a class, and that'd be cool. I mean, I'd love to stay at home. I like going to the games, don't get me wrong, but be able to watch any game on any given night, because we can't always make every
no matter
game.
where you are.
Exactly. So the home schools have the right to do that and the ability. So, you're right, Bryce. I'd like to see that too.
In the news this week, Coach. So what are the big stories surrounding high school football?
Girls flag football is coming fall of 2023, so buckle up.
CIF just approved that.
They did. They have a couple more procedural things to go through, but for all intents and purposes, it's a done deal.
Do we know when will the games be like Friday Night Lights, or do we
well,
know
those are all the details they need to work out as far as officiating, because that's tough in football.
Right.
What days, what times, sharing the fields. I mean, there's a lot of logistics.
Is it going to be 8-on-8, 7-on-7? What's it going to be? We know.
I'm sure it'll be like the flag football and Friday Night Lights, something to that effect. I mean, the only question or concern I would have is if you're going to do it in the fall. Remember, you got girls tennis, girls golf, cross country, girls volleyball. I mean, that's 4 other sports going on right now. So
it's very busy, when school starts. Yeah.
I think it might start off something like lacrosse, where it's more of a club type thing. It'll be official sanctioned CIF sport, but not every school is going to be able to field a team.
They'll be playing for a ring and everything.
But outside of that, I mean, as the team start, maybe they'll have different leagues based on the numbers. But I've got 3 daughters, and I was talking to mine on the way home the other day after I saw that in the paper, and I said, "Do you have any interest in playing flag football?" She goes, "Maybe."
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
So Matt, you got Maddie thinking about it already.
Yeah. So I'm, as a dad with girls, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So it's Cypress. We have a spring game at the end of the year during spring ball, and the juniors will take on the seniors in flag football, the girls.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something.
I refereed that game one year.
It gets chippy.
It was unbelievable.
We even had a couple instances where admin threatened to ban that game because it got so physical, and the girls were using
so competitive.
Some colorful language. And so just go to a girls soccer game. I mean, they mix it up. So if you like collisions, if you like big hits, and you like people getting down and dirty, this might work. I'm actually looking forward to seeing how this plays out.
Remember that one year, it was so big that Cypress actually played Kennedy at Handle Stadium.
Right. That was a night game, and it was packed.
Yeah.
So, all right, moving on. That collective sigh you heard was from all the offensive linemen in the Sunset League. T.A. Cunningham is officially eligible.
He's here.
Yeah. And, good for him. I'm not going to go through all the drama of what he went through. No kid deserves or should have to go through all that. But when it's all said and done, I follow him on Twitter, and his faith is a real big part of what motivates him and gets him through these tough times. And he referenced that a couple times. And, he got through it. He's playing.
And I'm so happy for him that he's able to play. And, even when he wasn't playing, he was the biggest cheerleader and supporter of the other Griffins. He was never dour or never, melancholy or sad. You'd see him on the sideline with the
megaphone,
and cheering his teammates on. And then each time out, the coach is going on. He's coaching up his guys. I mean, I have a lot of respect for that young man, and it's great to see him on the field playing.
So when college coaches are looking for scholarship athletes, obviously they're going to look at your stats.
Yeah.
They're going to look at your tail of the tape. They're going to look at your play on the field, but they also have a lot of questions about your character.
Yeah.
And when you see the way he handled himself during those first 5 games, going through what he went through, that's going to tell them a lot. And that's just going to be another check mark in his favor, because I thought he handled himself real well considering what he was dealing with.
And even the stats thing in that interview we had with him this week that Taryn Rodriguez did, he even brought that up. Like, his stats may not have been, as good as people would expect, but he's getting double and triple teamed. And that makes me think of, like, you remember Darrelle Revis, the cornerback in the NFL?
Sure.
They call it
Revis Island. Yep.
2/3 of the earth is covered by water. The other third's covered by Revis. Warren Sapp once said.
Right.
There was a year where Revis had 0 interceptions, but he was still regarded as the best cornerback in the NFL because nobody would throw to him because he's so good.
Right.
And that's how T.A. Cunningham is. Like, okay, he might not have a sack, but you know what? He was triple teamed. That freed up Brennan to get a sack or somebody else on the Griffins.
Right.
That's how good he is.
If other players are on the defense doing their job, making plays, then that's all he has to do.
So, and that's going to show on film. People are going to see that and go, wow, Cunningham's drawing 3 offensive linemen.
Yep.
Yeah.
So speaking of transfers, I know there's a big negative connotation about people transferring, and I get it when you got a school that's nothing but transfers. But a couple kids, I think it's working out quite well. You look at Awad and Hurley from Edison; they came from Mater Dei.
Yeah.
Had they stayed there, they're probably not going to play. And now they're playing at a school where they're going to get some D1 looks and offers because they transferred and gave themselves an opportunity to play, as opposed to sitting behind, somebody who's going to Alabama or, one of the top schools. So it works out. And you look at someone like Colton Joseph. You don't think San Juan Hills misses him?
Yeah,
they're 0-6.
Yeah.
Whereas, at Harbor, they're 4-2, and he's having a great season. So, a lot of times that works out for everybody. So I'm glad to see that when these kids transfer and have success, it's a win-win.
Yeah, and I think I know Edison's happy to have those guys in Newport Harbor. Is ecstatic to have Kojo running the offense.
All right, congratulations to Edison principal Jennifer Graves. She got the CIF Champions of Character Award. That's an award that goes out to athletes, ADs, administrators.
Great job.
So anytime somebody in the Sunset League gets recognized.
That's awesome.
And by the way, as a principal, I can't imagine this. First of all, they're responsible for the students.
Yeah.
They're teachers. The other administrators, they're dealing with parents.
Yes.
They've got the board they've got to answer to. They've got, the superintendent. I mean, they get hit from every side. They got to go to all the dances, all the,
the
band
hours
events.
they put in is like they're there at 6 a.m, most of them, and they're not leaving most of the time till probably 6 p.m, 7, 8. And they have families too, and they have lives outside the school.
Sporting events. I mean,
so
that's a lot. And so anytime they can get some positive recognition, that's a good thing.
And anytime, if you ever run into the principal of your kid's high school, tell them thanks.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. So the Orange County Register came out at the end of preseason play, and they recognized some of the top players in the county. Cole, can you pull that up on the screen? We got a couple here. We got some quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, and defensive players. So let's just take a look at there we go. So Malachi Nelson from Los Alamitos, Colton Joseph from Newport Harbor, and Parker Wad. One of the stats that really stood out for me, and they put this in the paper, is Malachi Nelson's completing 71% of his passes.
70.
So let me so for some perspective.
Yeah.
The NFL record for completions percentage in a season is 74%, and that was by Drew Brees.
Wow.
So he's 3% off from an NFL record.
And most of the time he's coming out of the game in the second or third quarter too. So his numbers would be even more elevated.
Right. And so you look at these quarterbacks who are multi-year starters. Awad's another one. When you get that experience, you're just in such control of the offense, and they're doing an outstanding job. And then, of course, Colton Joseph, the dual threat quarterback, who's equally as effective on the ground as he is throwing the ball. So big shout out to him. We also have some receivers we want to recognize.
And Mekhi Lemon is 4th in yardage right now with 661 yards, and he is.
And
one
again,
of those
there's
guys.
another guy that gets pulled out because it's a route.
If he's playing full games right now, he'd probably have 1,100 yards already. Cash and Henjum, Cash Money, he's second in receiving yards with 700. He's second in average per yards with 140 a game. And he's second in yards per catch, averaging 22 yards every time they get the ball into his hands.
So Money's a stat freak, right?
Yep. Cooper Hawk, second in receptions, has 51 already through 6 games. Or maybe 5. That was before this week. So, yeah.
Right. This was all after the
Right.
preseason, so you could add to all these stats.
A.J. Vandermeer, first in average yards per catch for the Huntington Beach Oilers with 24, and he's
Now think
tied
about
for second
that.
in TDs.
Every time he touches the ball, he averages
24 yards.
Yeah, so, I mean, I just throw him every play.
He's already got 9 touchdowns in the preseason. So, yeah.
All right, let's talk running backs. My man, Damian Henderson.
Oh, gosh.
4th in yards, but here's another kid who's missed a lot and should easily be first, but it is what it is. But here's this stat, if you're into stats. First in average per carry at 9.5.
What?
Now,
That's like a first down every time he touches the ball almost.
if you're Los Al, don't ever throw, you don't have to throw anymore.
Oh, my gosh.
Every time you touch the ball, Henderson, you're basically getting your team a first down.
Hey, how about that O-line for Los Al?
Yeah, big shout out across the board. And he's first in touchdowns with 9.
Jeez.
And then, of course, Carter Hogues, averaging nearly 100 yards per game. He's got 8 touchdowns. He's had a couple more last week.
Yeah.
So, again, you get these backs with the track speed, and they can do some damage.
He had 2 against Huntington Beach.
Yeah, so put him up to 10.
10, yeah.
Yep, yep.
Double digits already.
All right, how about some defenders?
Carson Diavola, our guy from Newport Harbor, averages 11 tackles per game from the safety position, not linebacker, safety.
And he cleans 315 pounds. Don't forget that.
Yeah, and then, of course, number 11,
Our man.
Dom Lopez, Edison Charger. He's getting 10 tackles per game. And we saw him on the sideline before the game the other night. He looked like a cage tiger. He was just like roaming the sidelines. He was ready to go, and he was just focused and had all this energy, and he brought it in the game. And yeah, boy, what a we talk about the Edison offense, but what a stout and stellar defense they have as well, led by Dom Lopez.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, let's go to scholarships.
Yeah, scholarship update.
Jack Loucks, offered by Puget Sound. Jack, of course, from CDM, the outstanding receiver. Do you know where
right.
Puget Sound is?
Washington.
Do you know what their mascot is?
I'm looking at is it a lumberjack?
The Loggers.
The Loggers. Okay.
And I don't think it's the beer. So shout out to Jack for that.
Like they're logging stuff. Yeah, that's beautiful country up there. Puget Sound up in Washington State.
Okay, and how about my man Nathan G, offered by ASU, not U of A, Nathan, ASU. And so he's trying to get some big-time offers. You know, they're kicking it up a notch. Now we're looking at Pac-12 stuff.
He's stoked. We talked to him the other night before the game, and it was great to see him getting offered by ASU, going to play some Pac-12 ball.
Possibly. And then a correction. So last week, Luke Taylor was the wide receiver for Fountain Valley. He caught the game-winning catch. He got our player of the week. But the picture on the online version of
right.
Sunset Rewind had a different player, so
Right.
we featured the wrong guy.
There's
So
Luke.
There is Luke.
Good job, Luke.
And Luke, if I get this wrong again, I will buy you dinner. So if this is not you, and I'm pretty sure it is, I've verified it with a couple people, let me know. But that is Luke Taylor, and so congratulations to him.
Great job.
All right, Coach, time for our Players of the Week.
Players of the week. I'll let you do the honors first. Who do you have this week, Coach?
Actually, it's your guy, so go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I'll start off. I'm going to go with Parker Awad from Edison. We were at the game, obviously saw him play. 16 of 21, throwing 217 yards, 3 touchdowns in the first half. He also ran for an 8-yard touchdown as well, and he did all that in one half basically.
That's right. He was out. He
yeah.
didn't start the second half.
If he plays the whole game, I mean, who knows? So great job, and he's so focused and so just calm. He's just the guy.
Calm and in control.
No stress at all. He just drops back in the pocket. Oh, I got to step up. Oh, this guy's open. He goes through his progressions. Just a great quarterback. And congratulations, Parker. You are my Sunset League Player of the Week.
I'm going with CDM's Cooper Hoke, 6 receptions, 131 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the win against Fountain Valley. And he continues to impress. And they've got a lot of good receivers. I know he gets a lot of hype, but they got Weir, and there's just that whole team is talented. And I know they're battling injuries early on, but they've really found a way to kind of step up and keep that truck rolling. So shout out to Cooper. Good job. Congratulations. So if you're going to the games now, we have the Sunset Rewind magazine out. That's something we've been promoting.
Absolutely.
Pick that up. It features all the teams. In fact, my man T-Rob
Taryn's
back
got it in the
there's
background
got
right there.
But we had a special guest this week. Can we get the volume up? We're going to go with a video here, Cole, for this next one. Uncle Trip flew. Oh, here we go.
Hey, thank you, Murphy. There is the magazine. It is good too. If you haven't seen it yet, it is excellent.
So Uncle Trip flew in from Mississippi, and he was also here to promote the magazine. So let's see what Uncle Trip had to say.
What do you got there in your backpack, Uncle
That's a real good question. I got a lot of things. They ain't all legal, you know what I'm saying? But one thing I do got is the 2022 Sunset Rewind Magazine of the Year. Okay?
And that's more valuable than Grandpa's moonshine.
Amen to that. And I've been drinking a little bit. Not a lot, just a little.
All right, thank you, Uncle Trip, for that promo. We'll definitely try to pick that up, and we hope he has a safe ride back to Mississippi.
Yeah, he looks, for some reason, he reminds me of Tucker Tripp's father.
He looks a little bit like him.
Yeah.
I can see the resemblance, but
Yeah.
I can't imagine that's the same guy. No way. All right, let's get into next week. All right, talking about schedules. So a little side note, I had to change this last minute. Los Alamitos and CDM, it says in Max Preps on the website they're playing on Friday, but that's actually going to be a Thursday game.
Okay.
If you can pull that schedule up, please, Cole. We've got Los Al at CDM on Thursday. We've got Edison at Harbor on Friday, and then Huntington Beach at Fountain Valley on Friday. So it's that time of the week, Coach, where we get to
The plot
upset
thickens.
half of our fan base as we make predictions. You want to go first, or you want me to take the damage?
Los Alamitos at Corona Del Mar. Going to be a good game. But it's Los Alamitos. I think Corona Del Mar, if they were completely healthy, obviously, we know the injuries they've had. We talked about that over and over. I think it'd be a different game, but just with the injury CDM's, had this year, I just think the Griffins are going to be a little too much.
Yeah, I mean, Los Al is the two-time defending league champion, so until somebody beats them, I'm just going to stick with them. I think CDM's having an outstanding year in spite of everything, and I think it's going to be competitive, but I just think at the end, Los Al, the way they're throwing the ball and running it, they're just so hard to keep up with, and I'm going to go with Los Al. So next we have Edison at Newport Harbor.
Good game, good matchup. I mean, I would not be surprised if there was 80, 90, or 100 points on the scoreboard at that one. But I think I give a slight edge to Edison. I think they got a little more firepower there, and but I wouldn't be surprised if Harbor, somehow won. But I think I'm going to take Edison in that one.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same. And I think the biggest mistake Edison and Los Al can make is looking ahead. We're all thinking it, but we haven't said it. But there's a big showdown possibly looming. But it won't be a big showdown if they don't take care of business this week. So I think their coaches will have them ready to go. I like Newport Harbor a lot, but I just think Edison has a little bit more. But you play the game for a reason. We'll find out.
Yeah.
And then lastly, this is for the playoffs. The winner of this is definitely in. They have, all the teams have a shot to get in this year based on what they did in non-league play. But the winner of Huntington Beach, Fountain Valley is going to be in. That's a game you're going to be at. I'm actually going to be at the Los Al CDM game. So talk to me. What do you got?
Do I have to pick this one if I'm going to be at it?
Well, you just make sure you stay on that sideline the whole time. You almost have to go a certain direction, but you go with who you want.
Fountain Valley.
You've been to more Fountain Valley games than anybody else. I think they're a great story.
Yeah.
Ironically, on the flip side, I've been to more Huntington Beach games than anybody else. So I'm going to stick with the team I know best, and that's Huntington Beach.
Oh.
I think it's going to be a great matchup. It can go either way. I wish it could be a tie.
So we're picking different.
Finally.
We're picking
We were
different
3
this
and
week.
for 3 last week. So this week,
All right,
one of us is gonna be
Barons,
in the league.
help me out.
Come on, HB, get up off that mat. So that's it.
That's
it for this week.
God, another great week of football coming up.
In the bag.
Sunset League, is there no better league? It's awesome.
Razor said it best. So go out there, watch those games, support those kids. It really does make a difference. And I'm telling you, we were at a game that was packed, and that's a fun experience. It's awesome.
Well, thanks again, everyone, for joining us. Thank Cole Menzinger, Murphy Carges,
There he is.
Taryn Rodriguez, Eric
He's chilling.
Ramos.
He's busy watching football.
Our Sunset Rewind team. Thanks for joining us again. Everybody have a great week. God bless you. We'll talk to you soon.
Peace out.